So I'm in my car, and I figured I'd go live quickly to talk about this half-ass apology that Will, gave Aunt Viv. So we see if we get some people to join the conversation. And we see if we can get some people to join this conversation. Because I'm trying to figure out, I have a couple questions of my own when it comes to this Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Did Will was he a producer of that show at that age? Did he have say-so or rights to that show at that age of being, early 20s, 21? Was he some type of executive producer or something? So I got to find out that, because I don't understand how. So first of all, let's so if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, I'm pretty sure everybody does. But, Will Smith wanted to do the 30-year reunion of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So, and by the way, I watched it on HBO Max. I tried to screen record it so I can review it, honey. HBO Max is not playing. They is not allowing any screen recording. So I'm going to have to try to go around another way to do it, because I still kind of want to do a review of it. But it was very touching. It was very touching. I cried at certain parts when they were remembering Uncle Phil. I cried at that part because it was really touching. But the part that, now, Aunt Viv, the dark skin, Janet Hubert, nobody could play that character like her. I'm sorry, but when they cast, the other Aunt Viv, I never really watched it too much after that. Once Janet Hubert left, I didn't really watch it after that. Janet Hubert was Aunt Viv. You could not replace her. Now, when it got into the whole, part with Will and her, it was so sad. I don't know if it was the music that they was playing in the background, HBO. I don't know what it was, but it just made me, it really touched my heart, to see them reunite and to then hear the story. But my first question was, what kind of goddamn grown people, producers and executives, is listening to a teenage boy or listening to a 20-year-old, 21-year-old tell them that a grown woman is difficult? Like, first of all, I was just really kind of taken aback by that. Like, right. I was trying to, try to put that in my head. Like, how was it that Will had any control or any say-so over this? I know it was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I know that was his show. But Quincy Jones was the producer, I thought, and I'm trying to feel like, did Will have anything to do with it? Like, how are you telling producers that somebody is difficult, and you got this woman fired or let go, and then you blackballed her at 21? You did all that at 21, and then when she asked him why, why would you do that to me? Do you know how hard of a time I had after this? As a black woman being called difficult. She was already dark skinned, which, hello, which was already, okay, you're dark skinned, but that was Aunt Viv. Like, what did you do that, why would they listen to a 21-year-old? Like, I just didn't understand it. Like, why would you listen to a 20? So I need to research that and find out that Will has some type of rights. Right. How did he get that kind of power? Like, you were just, Like, I even watched how they all just crowded around him when they would do, the Friday parties, and they showed out. They would all go to his dressing room, and he was just like the leader. And I could really picture on that set how he probably turned everybody against her, probably talked trash about her. And like he was saying, he was young. He didn't know what it was like for a woman to be pregnant. He didn't know, what she was going through and all that. Like, damn. So you had the woman fired, like, while you had people talking about her while she was pregnant and she was going through stuff at home. Nobody sat down after all that she had gave to that show. Nobody sat down with the woman to try to find out what was going on in her life. Can we do anything to help you? What's going on? Y'all just told her that she only could work 2 months and you docked her pay, and then, like, who does that? So it was obvious that Will was behind it, and you could tell that she was really hurt by that. But then Will's excuse was he was young, he was 21 years old, and he didn't understand pregnancy, and he everybody was a threat. And she was like, I was a threat? How can I be a threat? But that was him basically saying he felt threatened by anyone that was coming up in a position like he wanted to be top dog. But dude, the show is yours, named after you, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Why would you tell this woman that you were threatened by her? Like, I just didn't. I thought that was a lame ass excuse. I don't think that was the reason. I think he was a 21-year-old egotistical kid. He had a hit show, and he let that shit get to his head. That's what it was. And you know how, that person like on your job that goes around and stirs up shit and tries to get people fired, brown nosing and shit and turn people against people and try to get people fired. That was him. He started shit on the set. He had everybody fearful, like, oh, if we're not on his side, we'll get fired. You know what I mean? Because he must have been the it boy. Right. He wanted everything to be about him. And that's what I got out of it. I'm like, boy, you still not giving her the correct apology that she deserved. This woman says she lost everything. I can just only imagine because you never saw her nowhere after that. So, and she was really talented. She could act. She could dance. You remember that scene when she was doing the ballet? She was so graceful and so beautiful. And to just be let go like that and then have nothing. And then he went on to be great and, to marry Jada Pinkett, to have a family, to be a multi-millionaire. And this woman sat by and watched all of that. Like, that is ridiculous. And it took you, but this is the thing. This is how black women are so, like, stepped over. It took you 27 to 30 years to apologize to this woman. You blackballed her and messed up her career, and yet you took 30 years to apologize? Like, that is so fucked up. It never crossed your mind until now that, well, I wonder what happened to her. I wonder what her life is like. You owe that woman some money. Like, cut that woman a check. Cut her a check. You got it. Cut her a check and give her money that she deserves for all the years that she missed. Cut her a check because you really messed that woman's life up. He did it for ratings because everybody has always wanted to know what happened to Aunt Viv. Because, honey, I'm not going to lie. I did not watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air after she was gone. That light-skinned Aunt Viv, I don't even know her name. That's why still don't know that woman's name. And, I mean, she's a lovely lady, but she was not Aunt Viv. I'm sorry. She was not Aunt Viv. So, I just think that Will Smith, he still just doesn't get it, And from him to come from Philly, because I live in Philly and I know West Philly, the Plateau, all of that. I know where he comes from, and I know, what type of city Philly is. And Philly people don't do stuff like that. Like that's not. We don't get down like that. So I'm not feeling Will Smith, for that. I'm like, boy, you was from the hood, and you know what it's like to struggle and not have nothing. So that's what you did. Like I'm not feeling that. And like the producers and the writers and the executives of the show, how did you let a 21-year-old kid make that type of decision? You know, you guys were the adults. You guys were the grown-ups. You should have sat down with that woman and figured it out. Figured out what was going on. But no, y'all let him stir up trouble. I can just only imagine. He probably just stirred up trouble on that set. Karen Parsons, Tatiana, all of them probably were scared, and they probably were fearful of them losing their jobs because they ain't have nothing else to go to. So, they just did and went right along with whatever Will said. They just went right along with it. And that's terrible. And then it took you 30 years to apologize to this woman? Boy, bye. If I was you, Aunt Viv, where my money? Cut me a check. I need a couple million. Right. Well, Marla, I think it's because they were fearful of Will. They didn't want to lose their job. You know how that go. If you're the it boy, he was the it boy. You heard him tell that story. I went to Quincy's house, and Quincy already had me in mind for the role, and he's telling this story about Quincy's birthday party, and all the executives were already there, and they already made the decision. He didn't even have to try out. He didn't even have to, really do anything. They already had him in mind for the part. That just goes back to all those stories about Will Smith being, what, and being a favorite of Quincy Jones already, and there was no one else that was ever right. Oh, he did. Oh, he did something. Right. He went to a birthday party of Quincy Jones, and all the people was all these men, those Hollywood parties were all there, and Quincy asked him, we're considering you for this role. We want you to do this and this and that. And he's like, I've never acted. I'm a rapper. And he's like, right. Oh, and he's like, I'm a rapper. I'm not an actor. And he's like, give me 2 weeks so I can find an acting coach. And so he said, Quincy's like, okay, so you're telling me you need an acting coach when everybody that is in the position to do something for this sitcom is here at this party. So get your shit together, basically, and perform. So he did whatever reading or whatever, and they signed the shit for the pilot right there at the party. So he says this on this, on this, on the special. He says this. He told them all the story or whatever. So all of them had to try out. He didn't have to try out. He was the favorite. So he was the favorite. That's what I got in my mind. He was the favorite from the beginning. He went in it knowing, right. He was the favorite from the beginning, and he went right into it. I also noticed how he was very protective of Ashley as well. Yeah. Ashley was the youngest, you know what I mean? Until the baby came along, to that little boy, till they act like they had that baby. And didn't they look weird? Did y'all see? What was his name? I forget. But the little baby that they had, and then did y'all see him at the end when he came on? He looked just like a bigger version of that. I was like, damn, he still looked the same. Everybody else looked grown up and everything. Nikki, yeah. Child, y'all should have seen. Did y'all see how he looked? He looked like a bigger version of that. It was like a blow up doll. Yeah, he still had that baby face. And sexism and colorism that still goes on in Hollywood. They turned him out back then. He was a got him moved up. Right, Michelle. So it just, it was just amazing to me that, he basically told that, like, I didn't know any better. Does that make sense? I didn't know any better, and just forgive me. Like, that's basically what he said. I didn't know any better. I was a young kid back then, and I apologize. I don't even know if I heard him say I'm sorry. I don't even think he even really said I'm sorry. Right. But I don't even really think he said he was sorry. I think he just insinuated that he was sorry and acted humble and all that. But I don't know if I even still heard the words, I'm sorry. Right. So see, Jada is the one that do that red table talk shit. Okay, she's the one that tries to be conscious and does all that. Will has just only recently got into trying to discover who he is and trying to do this self-awareness, self-love shit. This is new for Will. So I feel like that was something that was unresolved. He didn't feel right doing it because he know damn well Aunt Viv, Janet Hubert, was a big part of that show. And he knows he had to address that sooner or later. He owed that woman some money. If I was Janet Hubert people, reach out to Will because he owe y'all some money. He owes you some money. And I know she probably still gets some royalties, from, the beginning parts of the show. But I just feel like, because, and you know what? But y'all, peep this. Peep this. Oh my God, I just thought about this. How about this? So now HBO is running that. HBO has the whole Fresh Prince. I guess they bought the rights to it. So they're going to have to pay her. So he probably had to get with her to get her permission because she's in the beginning of it. You know what I'm saying? So he had to get with her to. If he didn't have to get with her, I don't think he would have, because HBO bought the rights to this show. So in my mind, this must be Will's show. Will must have owned this show. Will must have owned this show. That's what's telling me. This is what's my mind is. My mind is telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. That's what he said. That's what Will said to Quincy. My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. Quincy tickled that fancy. Quincy tickled that fancy, Will. I got my drink. It's Friday night, so I'm a little tipsy. But for real, now that I think about it, they have to pay her. Exactly. Quincy, child, when he started telling that Quincy Jones story, I said, he got tickled in the booty. He got tickled in the booty. As soon as he said the word Quincy Jones and a party in the same sentence and white Jewish men, I said, oh shit. Pac said that Quincy Jones is gay and that he does things, and I think Pac was saying that he wanted to do it to him. And then he turned him down or something like that. Yeah. Like, Quincy Jones is a mess. He's been known, but that's that whole, Hollywood weirdo shit. Clive Davis, all that. And as soon as Pac exposed that, he wasn't dead too long after that. That's that whole Hollywood weird shit. Was he? It doesn't surprise surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me. Yup, Pac was dating his daughter. Quincy said, "You want to get some of that tail? You got to give me some of that tail." Pac, he said, "You want some of my daughter? I need some of that porter." You want some of my daughter? I need some of that porter. Right. Because they say Quincy Jones is a mess. They say Quincy Jones is a mess. I believe it, but like I said, when Will started telling that story, and he put the word Quincy Jones in the same sentence, and then the white Jewish man, and he showed the pictures of him, I said, oh, I know what went down at that house. And everybody else that was sitting around that listening to that story, they said, and look, and what's his Alfonso Romero, he says, well, how come I've been knowing you all this time, and I never heard that story? So I've been knowing you all these years, and I ain't never heard that story. They didn't know. They just found this out at the reunion. They didn't even know Will already had the role. They thought Will tried out like everybody else. He told that little story, and everybody was just looking. Y'all gotta watch it. Y'all gotta watch it. They were shocked. They was like, Alpha was like, I've been knowing you all these years, and I never heard this story. Because that was a private party. It was a private party. Yeah. You know how Quincy Jones get down. But, child, I think it was a forced apology. He only did it because he needed to be able to sell that, sell that show to HBO, and he needed Janet Hubert. He needed everybody at HBO Max. HBO Max. And if you notice, that's why everybody that was a part of that show, why would they have DJ Jazzy Jeff? I'm like, what is he doing here? Because he wasn't even really like a staple in the show. He would come in every now and again. He would make an appearance here or there. The only reason why he was on it is because he was Will's friend. I didn't think too much about it because I never heard about Quincy Jones. I'm sure it went over a lot of people's heads because it went over mine. Yeah, not mine, honey, because I know I done heard about it. But I'm like, so now that I'm thinking about it, they needed everybody's permission. That's why they had everybody there, because who the hell is DJ Jazzy Jeff? And so that's why, they got with Janet. He got with Janet because he needed, they needed permission. They needed permission of everyone that was a part of that show. And now that you see, because Will bought the house, he rented it out as an Airbnb. So he owns everything that has to do with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And he's been owning it since he was a kid. He had that show since he was a kid. From the moment that show started, that was his show. And that's why he was able to get Janet fired. He was able to blackball her because she even said, I heard it was you that blackballed me. You went around and told everybody that I was difficult. How could a kid have that much power? Because that was the first thing I thought in my head. Who the fuck would be listening to a 21-year-old? Have anything to do with getting a grown person fired? So that told me right there, Will had some type of pull. Yeah, she finally got her props. But they owe her more than that. They owe her for all the years that she missed. They should pay her for all the years that show aired, and she would have been a part of it. She should get money for that. Because Will did that out of spite, and he admitted that he did it out of spite. And out of fear of fear of her. Well, why would you wanted to be the it guy. You wanted, because she had that much talent. And why are black men always so intimidated by us when we're educated and we're strong? Why are you so intimidated by us? You should never want to do your sister like that. And he should have been looking at that woman like a mother. He should have been looking at her like a mother figure. Instead, he was looking at her like she was an employee. Like, you work for me, bitch, and I'm going to get you fired because I'm Will Smith. he was a puppet. But see, you know what? But see, that's that remorse. He's feeling remorseful and he's feeling ashamed. You can see the shame and the remorse all over his face. Like I got chills and was crying just watching their apology because you could see the remorse he was feeling. Right. Right. She wasn't stroking his ego and all that, and that's how he got fearful. But if this, like I said, this boy comes from Philly. He comes from West Philly at that, and they call that the bottom. West Philly, they call that the bottom. So my thing is, he knew what it would be like for a woman to struggle and to be out of work. And the fact that he did that to her, it was terrible. They should have been ashamed of themselves to let that 21-year-old boy make such a decision and put a woman out of work. And she said she didn't work since she lost everything. But for someone to have lost everything, she looked damn good. Her skin was glowing, her hair, because that other Aunt Viv, she looked a mess. She looked like a wrinkled elephant. I was like, damn, does she got some kind of damn mask on? That lady, I don't know what. Like, I know she done got old or whatever, but honey, she looked bad. But Aunt Viv, honey, Janet, honey, she looked like she still could bust them dance moves. She looked like she still could bust them dance moves. She looked good. She looked good, honey. I said, ooh, Aunt Viv. Her hair, her skin was giving me life. But that other one, I said, oh my God, what is wrong? She had the bags and her face, she looked like Benjamin Buttons. That's what she looked like. She looked like Benjamin Buttons. Yep, she looked like Benjamin Buttons. That's what she looked like. Carlton looked good. Tatiana looked good. Carlton looked good. Jeffrey looked good. But the new Aunt Viv and Nikki, them two, see, but they was the newer ones. They was the newer ones. Ain't that funny how the newer ones looked at a mess? All the old heads looked good. That new Aunt Viv and that Nikki boy, they looked at a mess. Because he just did not look right. I was like, ugh. He looked like he just got a little taller and it just didn't do it for me. I was like, what is that? Looked like he just got tall and then he stopped. It was like he was in the middle of getting tall and he just stopped. He was in the middle of getting tall and in the middle of aging and then he just stopped. Yeah, he just got out of somewhere. He looked like he was he was trying to get up there and then he just stopped. It's like, damn. His teeth looked like he was about to bite somebody. What in the world? Right, he didn't quite make it. Right, y'all remember on the Kings of Comedy when Cedric the Entertainer was talking about Luther Vandross, the Jerry curl, how it never quite really curled. It never really. That's how he looked. Like he just never really got up there. He was like, I'm going. And then he looked like he was out of place. He didn't even look like he belonged there. He just looked out of place. So the new Aunt Viv, she was giving me very much Benjamin Buttons. And the old Aunt Viv, she was giving me life. She was giving me matriarch. She was giving me aging black woman, aging well. Honey, she was giving me that shit. Give me. Give me my coin. That's how she came up there. Like, bitch, I look good. Run me my paper. And give me my apology, bitch. While you looking like an old, ashy, washed up Benjamin Buttons, I'm looking like a black goddess, bitch. Run me my coin. I'm like, girl, the reunion. It was good. It was really emotional. I had a lot of little emotional ups and downs, you know. But I just didn't. The apology just didn't do it for me. Will Smith, you know, maybe if they had brought her to Red Table, I think Jada could have got to the bottom of it a little better. She probably could have covered it better and got to the points. Will just wanted to get it over with. He just wanted to do it and get it over with. He didn't really go into depth for me, and I think she was looking for more. I think Janet was looking for more. She was looking for more of an apology, and he didn't have it because he really, as a kid, as a teenager, 21, what do you really know about life? He really didn't know anything, and he really didn't even know why he did that. You know what I'm saying? It was all jealousy. He was power tripping. And yeah, he was power tripping. Yeah, entanglement. He was power tripping and everything. And I think that Jada could have got to the bottom of that. You know what I'm saying? Like woman to woman, because he still was not making the connection. She was like, I was in an emotional and a bad relationship, an abusive relationship, and I was pregnant. And he just was still sitting there like, yeah. He still wasn't making the connection. He was just still like, and she still was just looking at him like, you don't, nigga, do you get it? I lost everything, motherfucker. That's how she, do you motherfucking get it? Bitch, you went on to do Black Men in Black. You went on to have everything. I lost, Bad Boys and everything. Bitch, I lost everything, motherfucker. Do you get it, nigga? That's how she was looking like, Like a couple times I've seen her go, like, really? Oh, because then she even said, how was it for you? How was your life? Because mine was fucked up. Like, I lost everything. Do you even give a fuck? You know what I mean? He did do a resident. Oh, he did? Oh, well, I gotta go watch it. Was it after the reunion? Because if they did, then I need to watch that. Maybe I'll take some of my shit back because that HBO special did not do it for me. It was rushed, and I felt like he didn't mean it. So my advice, Aunt Viv, Janet Hubert, girl, get your paper. Will, you owe her a couple million just for GP. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm going to watch it. You owe her just for GP. You owe her about 2,000 to 3,000. Run that. Write that check because you have it. You owe that woman money. And Janet, you look good, sis. You look great, honey. All your life is still in your face. That other Viv is just suck. You know what they did? Nope. You know what? I'm so smart. Listen at this. Look what I just came up with. All the life is sucked out of her face because she tried to suck Aunt Viv's life away. That's why her face is sucked out like that. Trying to suck Aunt Viv's life out. Look, her face is dried the fuck out. See, what you meant for bad, God turned into good because she aged well and gracefully, honey. You looked a mess. And see, she said she never met Aunt Viv. How you took a woman's job and you never met the woman? You didn't call and try to get no tips on how to be Aunt Viv. That's what lets me know that Will had them all by the balls. Because how you take somebody's job and you take somebody's role that is iconic to the culture, and you didn't call to get no pointers? You didn't ask this woman, what should I do? How should I dress? How should I act? You know what I mean? Like, how do I do it? How do I be Aunt Viv? Girl, give me some pointers. Tell me, sis. Right? Jenny would be like, bitch, get the fuck off my phone. You got your motherfucking nerve. Get see me go in here and get drunk. I gotta go. I love y'all. Bye. In about an hour, I'm gonna play that Hazel E. I'm gonna do the Zeus thing, and I'm gonna play a couple episodes. I'm not gonna be on camera because I'm gonna be drunk, so I'm gonna just put it on live and let y'all watch it. Okay? Bye.